Hello and welcome to Around the Scene, presented to you by Playing with Rockets. I'm one of your hosts, PWR Ryan, and joining me today is the Master TO himself, Eldino.
What up?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell. This is episode 2 for us now. How are you feeling?
A lot better than I was last week.
We're hitting the big times. We're going into number 2. Guys, if you didn't know, this is Around the Scene. This is episode 2. We are here every Wednesday for all of you to get your fix on all things Rocket League. If you like this, please consider giving us your follow here or your Amazon Prime, if you could be so kind, here on Twitch, or consider kicking us a buck over on patreon.com/playingwithrockets. Shout out to our Patreon sponsors for the month of April, Father of Five and Jonesy. Appreciate them for that support. Today, we have a massive 7 items on our news segment. So, Eldino, why don't you kick us off?
Land tickets went on sale for the World Championship.
You going?
No, I wish.
Same.
if it was on the West Coast, I would have gone, or even Central, but
Yeah.
it's too short notice. I want to go to Dreamhack too, but that's just way too soon.
Dreamhack would be more possible for me because I'm in Texas.
Yeah.
But, even then, I was like, I still have to pay for a place to stay. I was like, I want to go. It'll happen eventually. Just this year might not be the year. My wife's finishing up stuff for school and her degree and all that. I'm like, I'm almost out of the woods. I'll get to it eventually.
It'll happen.
Yeah. But guys, those went on sale. So if you're interested, I believe you can just head over to the Rocket League website. Just go to Google, type in Rocket League Esports, and you'll go to the website, and they should have a link over there for you.
Or you could do what everyone else does and go through the great website that is Ticketmaster. Absolutely no complications with that.
Do you know how much tickets are going for right now?
$50, I think.
55. So if you've got money to buy a ticket and you can do other stuff, cool.
Okay.
So the next bit of news, Rocket League nixes loot boxes in Belgium. This bit of information was in their recent esports update. But you can also find articles about it like on gamesindustry.biz. That'll be in the show notes for you guys to look up tomorrow if you want. But per games patch notes, Psyonix says this change was due to government regulations in both countries. End quote. So what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm surprised it took this long. I mean, there's talk of it all of last year. I figured it would have happened. But...
Well, now's the thing too, is because like Overwatch, FIFA, like I know EA had to remove it. I'm trying to remember other games, but like several other games already had to remove their crate system.
I don't think EA was okay with it though. I think
EA wasn't okay with it. They tried suing, but and that's in the patch. That's in that article I pulled up as well. But EA tried to kind of fight back through the courts, but ultimately they backed off because they weren't going to be able to win.
Yeah.
So rather than pursue more legal fees, they just kind of withdrew their case on it. So pretty much everyone's just not able to purchase stuff over there, which is weird because like in the patch notes it talks about I think it said you can't open crates with keys anymore, which begs the question: do crates still drop?
Yeah.
They do still drop.
They do still drop because they're still decryptors. And you can trade them.
You can trade decryptors?
No, you can trade crates. But you can open crates with decryptors.
See, that just like leads to a whole mess with that.
Well, you're not paying for the decryptors. Which
I know. That sucks for the people there.
It's fine. Yeah.
That sucks for people there though, because it's like now you can't do what you want with your own money. And I understand it's like the whole crates are gambling thing. I get it, but I just think it's stupid. Which, I mean, I don't know. I kind of think that crates need to go away because it's like, I mean, does Rocket League even need them?
No, not really. But I mean, I'd imagine it's a good source of revenue for them.
I mean, you think? Like they've got Rocket Pass, they have the esports shop now, They still have the basic shop where you can just purchase DLC packs. And so it's like, do crates and keys really still generate that much money for them, you think?
Keys, I think, definitely do, because, I mean, still Rocket Pass. You can spend your keys over there.
Yeah.
Crates, I don't think they're still anywhere near as big as they were in, like, Season 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I think there's enough revenue that they're getting where it makes sense to keep on putting them out.
I don't know. I kind of think it's just pointless. But
I mean, I want them gone, but from a business standpoint, I understand what.
Well, then it's like also like they're so ingrained in Rocket League at this point that's like, okay, what do you do with them? Like, because now Belgium and the Netherlands are in that situation of it's like, what do you do with them now? You can't open them unless you have decryptors. Like, and there's way more crates in like the Netherlands and Belgium's. Just like speaking like in that area specifically, there's more crates easily than there are keys, and it's like,
yeah,
and definitely easier than decryptors. So it's like that sucks. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea, but I don't know. I kind of think I would like to see crates and keys go. I'd rather see them like put more of the like our department's time towards other things than developing new crates.
Yeah.
Like, that personally.
I mean, for all I care, just put that back into the Rocket Pass if you really care about revenue that badly.
Yeah.
Based off keys. Like, be my guest there. But
yeah. I don't know. It's a weird situation. But moving on to our next bit of news, org items are now released. They have the subthread, including the teams that are not yet listed. And as a subnote, Psyonix encourages the use of org items to the players, but does not require them to use them during RLCS matches. First off, what are your thoughts on the esports items so far that we've seen?
I hate it. My wallet hates it. My bank account hates it. Everything hates it. My money is gone.
Okay. So you hate it, but you love it.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
That's kind of how I feel too. I'm like,
yeah.
Dang. I'm like, this is... Now I have to like actually pick it. I was hoping that I'd be able to just be like, everyone, but now I have to be like, which teams do I want specifically? But that was, I like them. I dig it all. I'm happy with it. I didn't think I would be as cool with it as I am, but I'm enjoying it. I like it.
I think the wheels look absolutely revolting for like every team, though. I think TSMs look okay. But
really, you don't like the wheels?
I don't.
I like the Apex ones.
Yeah, I do too.
The Apex ones look sleek.
There's the Dignitas ones in there right now, and
I got them spur of the moment, and then like I found out like I didn't even look to see what any of the other like wheel types were, and then I looked back and I was like, "Dang, I made a bad choice here." So I mean, I'm gonna try to pull that one back. What are your thoughts though on okay, so we've gotten mixed things on this. So Psyonix, first it was Psyonix says the pro players have to use the org items, and then we see this post that says Psyonix encourages the use of org items. Like personally, I think if you're gonna use the Octane or Dominus, like you should, because it's like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you? But if like you're more comfortable with something, like for God knows why, you'd be comfortable with the Scarab. Like, you should still be allowed to use that. I don't like this idea of like them forcing people. But I'm glad that it looks like they kind of backtracked on it or something.
What I'm thinking is that Leth worded it poorly, because I think it was Leth that originally said that.
Yeah, it was like in a Twitch chat too, of all things.
Yeah, I think it was in Squishy's stream.
I was like, it's in a Twitch chat. Like, that's so wide. Like, you can pull so much meaning from like that small bit of text that it's like, what do you even do?
My thinking is that if they are getting required to use, it's the orgs themselves. I could see Ghost requiring them to use it if they're
See, I
using
could
those
see
cards.
something like that. I could see that they're being forced to use it by the orgs,
I
but
don't
not
see
by
Psyonix.
Psyonix.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I first saw stuff saying, like, Psyonix said they have to, I was like, well, that kind of sucks. Like, if Fairy Peak or Cooksey ever decided they wanted to switch back to the Batmobile for any reason, like, technically that means, like, they couldn't. If, like, they were forced to, you know?
Just move the decals over to Bat. Despite all the licensing issues, just do it. Come on. Come on. Show the Bat some love, Psyonix.
Oh man, they can't. That's what sucks. I saw people like saying they want decals for that and the McLaren, and I was kind of sitting there, and I was just like, they can't. Like, and anybody watching, I hope you know, like, they can't.
I mean, they could, just not
unless
legally.
they modify those contracts. Like, there's no way. Unless they modify those contracts, there's no way.
They'd get sued for a lot of money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They could.
You defiled the Batmobile. Warner Brothers is suing you now, Psyonix. Good luck trying to work that one out in court. I mean, I'm glad that it looks like they walked it back, though, too. Like, they are encouraged to just use them, because if it was the thing of, like, they have to, I was going to be like, that's going to draw some problems. But, I mean, I don't know. I like how they'll look. I'm happy with the system. I thought I would probably be a little more critical of it when it came out, but, like, I don't know. I'm happy with it. I think it's good. Do what?
Only thing I'm critical of it is the time system. I hate it. It encourages impulse buying. And,
I mean, granted though, they're gonna get your money that way. So they're gonna that's how they're gonna get you, Eldino. So they're gonna get you, man. They're gonna be like, this guy's got money. We're throwing out 1 NRG, 2 Cloud9.
I'm waiting for energy and TSM. I've limited myself to just those two.
That's good. I don't know that I'll be able to do the same.
And then there's going to be like a Vitality, something in there. I'm going to be like,
that one actually looked good. I liked it. I was like, that was cool.
I did too. I did.
But yeah, so that's all released now. So if you haven't gone and looked yet, go start up Rocket League right now and you'll be able to see it. If you're at home, that is. The next announcement is Rival Esports announces partnership with Psyonix to host Rival Series B-Stream. That was an interesting one. That one kind of blindsided me. Like, I was thinking about it before RLRS started, and I was kind of like, man, like, they can't stream all the matches. Like, they should really do a second stream. And then sure enough, like, I think 2 days later, they came out with this.
Only thing I'm surprised about is that Rival didn't get any in Rocketeers, or I don't know if it's actually Rocketeers. Sorry, EU people. Whatever EU org it was that hosted the Thunderdome.
I think that was Rocketeers.
Okay, I think it was Rocketeers too.
It was I want to say it was. I want to say it was them or Rewind Gaming. I feel like it wasn't Rewind.
It wasn't Rewind. No, it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, it was most likely the Rocketeers.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have them do EU. I feel like they would have brought in more people with that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Rival Esports was chosen because they are in both.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Rival does EU stuff
because Rival has like their own EU casters, but they also have NA casters and stuff. So it was
have EU casters.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure they do. I'm surprised if they don't, but they do, and they do EU stuff. So I mean, I imagine that they have casters.
I knew that they did EU tournaments every now and then. I figured that they were just using the same talent from NA.
No, I'm doubtful of that, because the guys here probably don't know. The guys for the NA don't probably know anything for the EU scene, so they can't really like give the type of commentary that Rival would want.
I didn't watch the stream. Does Rival use their own casters, or are they still using?
I assume they're using their own casters, because I know that I didn't get to watch the full RLRS stream, did Squid go on? Like, was he actually like there at the studio?
I think.
Okay.
I
if he casted, I missed the game. I think
think
I
I
only caught
remember
like 2
hearing
games and I didn't
cast.
see Squid at all.
I don't know.
I
I
just-
wasn't there for like
yeah.
any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad I missed the RLR stuff, but I just, stuff got in the way, couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're using their own.
might.
If anybody in chat knows, tell us, and we can just confirm this for future people who will be watching later on. But yeah, Rival Esports, I think it's cool. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I mean, I think it's nice for one that they're addressing the issue of not being able to watch every single RLRS game. Like that was a big problem for me personally, at least, and I know several other people, is because it was like I wanted to watch some of these games still, but it was just like because they weren't on, like I never could. And like it also kind of sucked for the Rival series people because it's like not all, like they could have a really stellar game and then it's just not broadcast out for anybody to see. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm happy about it. I think it's a move in the right direction, along with the fact that Psyonix is like the streams have been so much more smooth as a whole for RLCS and RLRS that like I'm pretty stoked about it.
I'm happy about the new talent.
Yeah,
That's what's got me most excited.
the new talent in players or casters.
Not so much RLCS for players because like there really isn't anyone except Splice.
Yeah,
But
well, Space Station Gaming.
oh yeah, never mind.
Your boy Sipical killed it, man.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you guys, he racked up so many freaking fantasy points that I just wanted to cry. I am now so far down in our fantasy league that it's not even funny. I'm
saw
so
them playing
freaking
EG and I was
sad.
like, oh, he's gonna pop off. I can see it.
Oh my gosh, you called it, man. You freaking called it.
Yeah.
So I was blown away by their performance, though.
Oh, they use their own casters.
Okay, I figured they do.
Yeah.
I figured they probably do.
And they do have EU casters. I think those are EU people.
Okay. I think it's like the 2 guys who do the
Rewind. It is. Or
What?
at least one of the guys is from Rewind.
I know. I think it's
They
like
are-
2 of the guys who do like the Aftershock.
No.
Like EU
No.
Rocket League podcast. No,
I don't.
it's neither of them. It's
No, I
like
don't
Digital
think so.
Bacon and something else.
No.
And some other dude.
No.
No?
That's not.
Oh, I thought they were. I thought they were part of Rival Series stuff. My bad.
It
Or
is
Rival Esports.
Jar Jam and Craftman.
Don't know them.
For NA, it's Samuel and Vaudable.
Oh, okay. Okay. Of
Yeah.
course. Can't say I'm surprised on that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Would've been
those
surprised if
two
it's,
are
like, anybody
busy.
else.
Like they're doing. Vaudible's really busy. Like I know he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing that, and he's also doing like the English Sam cast.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh.
I've seen him twice now for like last week and this week, and I saw him for their cast. So he's busy, man. I expect we'll see him soon for like RLRS. Kind of surprised he wasn't called up yet. Him and Ninja Rider, those are the 2 that I'm like surprised about.
I know. It hurts. I want Ninja to finally make it up there.
Yeah.
And they're just slowly bringing people in. And I like that they're doing it, but
Yeah.
it's just so slow.
I mean, that's how Psyonix does things, though. It's
Yeah. Better late than never.
Slow and steady, man. They're getting where they need to go. It's going to take us a minute. That's all. Moving on to the next bit of news, and I'm going to let you take a hold of this one like we were saying earlier, because again,
Yeah.
I didn't have time to follow through with this one.
Okay, so we'll be talking about the Dreamhack Dallas qualifiers that were held, I believe it was this past Sunday.
Yeah, it was on Sunday.
Okay. There were some really odd results for this.
Well, why don't we run through who all it's like going into the closed qualifier, right? Is that how it is?
Yes. Yes.
Do you know how many teams qualify through that?
Through open or through closed?
Through the closed qualifier now, because they already two of them. Is there an open qualifier? Or wasn't that already the thing that happened? Like they all played in an open qualifier and now they're going into a closed one?
Yes.
Okay.
And then top 2 from closed move on and get paid for like flight and accommodation.
Okay.
At Dreamhack Dallas.
Okay. Then I'll let you run us through it.
Yeah. So the teams that made it through open into closed are Affinity, Juiced, The Boys, Upper 90 Esports, Plot Twist, We Don't Get Off the Ball, Ballers, Flip Flop, Regalia, The Dudes, Outplayed, Nefarious, Coneheads, Momentum, Afterthought, and RBG Esports, alongside the 8 invited RLCS teams.
Okay. So what are you thinking on these teams that qualified through?
There are some that I'm questioning how they got through, but besides that,
oh man,
I'm not over the top shocked. There were some really weird results though, like Peeps getting swept by Affinity.
Yeah.
Or Juice sweeping Smile.
Dude, I'm pumped about this Affinity team. I'm pumped.
I
am
too.
I like where they're going.
I'm happy.
So I hope that they pull through the closed qualifier. That'd be huge.
That would be ridiculous because they're gonna probably have their first 3 games against RLCS teams if they end up even winning any of them.
Yeah.
That'll be ridiculous.
Oh wait, they have to actually play RLCS teams for this? I thought that it was just the RLCS teams were automatically invited to
the close qualifier.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
So each team that went through winners, so Affinity, Juiced, The Boys, Upper 90, Plot Twist, Dudes, Regalia, and Flip Flop all had to play an RLCS team.
Oof.
In game 1. Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit more rough.
Oh yeah, it's very rough.
Yeah. Okay. So which 2 teams do you think are gonna qualify if you had to put money on it? Who do you think's getting this all expenses paid tournament ride?
I hate to say it, but NRG and Space Station.
Oh, you think Space Station?
Oh yeah. No, I think Space Station is the second best team in NA, hands down. Without a doubt. Not even close between third. Not even close.
They've been killing it, man. So I mean, I don't know. I can't say that I want to argue that too much with you because like they're doing
week
well.
One hurt me, but I'm gonna let Sathu slide on that one.
Yeah, I mean that was close though. They took them. They almost got a clean sweep on G2. Like that would have been impressive.
Yeah.
And they got the clean sweep on Evil Geniuses, right?
Well, that would have been a disappointment if they didn't, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I was getting confused. I was like, is it Evil Geniuses or Ghosts? I couldn't remember.
It was EG. I don't think they play Ghosts until week 4.
Yeah, I think it's a while before they play them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think NRG and Space Station? I'm kind of inclined to agree. I really have like no argument against that.
I mean, I'd rather have the teams from the qualifier qualify. Realistically, all the RLCS teams are going to sign up once open signups get announced anyway. So
should be interesting though.
Yeah.
Any other information that people should know about for it?
It is the close qualifiers are on the 28th.
Okay.
At I want to say 1 Eastern.
Okay, so guys, if y'all are interested in those, they are actually going to have people broadcasting those. So just be tuning into Twitch on that day, and like look up the bracket and stuff. I believe we'll add the bracket to our show notes tomorrow, so y'all can have that information. But yeah, you'll be able to watch games happen on stream and stuff. I know that they were calling for broadcasts and stuff, and I applied for us, but we didn't get it.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, so. But I know there are people who are going to be doing it, though, so you'll be able to watch those games, which will be exciting. I'll be looking forward to that to see who kind of comes out on top. That's got to be rough, though, for
It is.
these RLCS teams, man. They're going to play. They're going to do league play on Saturday, and then they got to go into this tournament the next day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some DQs. If a team like goes 0-2 during league play, I could see them just like not wanting to bother with it.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the org that you're working under would, I think, make you play.
I mean, I've seen.
I think they would make you play because it would save them money if you win. You know?
I could see it, but I wouldn't bet on it for a team like Ghost or EG or Splice if they have a really bad week.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but those orgs, though, I would say almost need you to win more so that they do get that money break.
I mean,
I would think that like G2, Cloud9, NRG, and Evil Geniuses are probably the ones that like they're kind of meh. If you get it, you get it. Cool. If not, who cares? We can cover you easy.
I'd say Space Station is the only one that actually like it might help. I don't know their financial situation. I know all the other orgs are fine because I think Splice has an Overwatch team and they're doing decent in that.
Yeah.
And then they were in CS for a long time. They did fine in that. I don't think finances are really a big issue for any of them.
Yeah. If I was running an org, I'd be like, you better go play and you better win so that I can save some money. Like, whatever I save, I'll give you half of. Just as a bonus because you did this. That's beside the point. Let's go into... you have anything else you want to go over for that? Is there anything else that you want to share with the people at home?
No.
Okay. So, moving on to the next bit, we're going to run through the match results for this weekend for RLCS. So, for NA, the first match was G2 versus Rogue. That was a pretty important game for Kronovi at least, and then for the G2 guys, kind of trying to prove that like Chicago was better over Kronovi there. But Kronovi popped off a bit. Unfortunately, though, still wasn't enough. G2 took them down 3-2 in that series. You got anything you want to add for that one?
I've never been so disappointed in G2 in my entire life. That should have been a sweep. Rizzo played so poorly.
Kronovi was killing it, though.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
He was carrying so hard, man.
The best he's played in a while. But I mean, and then I want to say it was like AJ went like 1-14 with his shots.
Yeah.
1 goal, cross 14 shots in a Game 5 series. Like, really can't be doing that here. That's Space Station level bad shooting.
Space Station. Do you like these guys or not?
Oh, I love them, but they can't shoot to save their life.
All right, moving on to the next one. Ghost Gaming fall to Cloud9 in a clean 3-0 sweep. That one, can't say I'm too surprised about.
Yeah.
Ghost, I love Ghost. I love the players on that team, but man, they are... I didn't expect them to beat Cloud9, but I expected them to like take a game or two, but Ghosts just have been so underperforming this season.
Well, I think Ghosts got ruined on their schedule. I mean, they had Energy and then Cloud9. I think the Splice team, they should have won. I don't think that should have ever gone to Splice.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty unfortunate that you have to face Cloud9 and NRG back-to-back like that.
And then they have G2 this week. So.
Man, they're like really screwed on their stuff. I mean, really, though, the Splice one, I think, is kind of what did it for me on like their results. I mean, like, if you... Like, Splice is one that it's like... I like Splice, but I still don't believe they're an RLCS team. But, I mean, Ghost Gaming couldn't even take them down.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the only games that Ghost lost were 1-goal games, I think. Yeah. 2-1 OT in Game 1, and then 2-1 regular time, Game 3, and then Game 5, 3-2 in regular time.
Still. So. I want them to succeed. I hope they do better throughout the rest of the season, but I'm not holding out too much. If they keep this up, if they lose hard against G2, then they're definitely going to find themselves in that promotion relegation tournament, like, no doubt. Because you got to think they're not going to beat Space Station most likely. So who else does that leave? That leaves Evil Geniuses and Rogue.
I think EG and Rogue are hands down, quality-wise, the worst teams in RLCS.
Really?
I think Splice is a much better team than EG.
Okay.
And I think Ghost is a better team than Splice. They just didn't show up to play.
And see, that's the problem though, is you got to.
Doesn't matter if you're better.
Until they make a change to league play where you play people twice, you got to make sure that you count that one. So that's unfortunate for them. But match 3 of that was Space Station Gaming versus Evil Geniuses. We already talked about this one, so we're not going to talk about it too much. But that was a clean 3-0 sweep in favor of Space Station Gaming. And then the match after that was Splice versus NRG. NRG taking that one in a clean 3-0 sweep. I wasn't surprised. Were you?
I wasn't either. I was a bit surprised how dominant NRG was. I mean,
NRG's been killing it, man.
I was expecting that to happen, except I would have expected Splice to do a little bit better. I mean, they held their own against Cloud9 week 1.
Yeah, it was a clean 3-0 sweep against Cloud9, but like everyone's been saying, like, it was a really close 3-0. Like, the 3-0 doesn't do it justice for how close it was.
And then for Cloud9 supposedly being the second best team in NA, for them to all have 1-goal OT games against Splice, and then NRG to win 4-0, 5-1, and 1-0, it's like, is that gap actually that big? Or is Splice just getting worse week after week?
Who knows? And then the last game was G2 Esports versus Evil Geniuses. G2 taking that in a clean 3-1 setup there. I don't really have much for that one. You got anything?
I'm disappointed in G2 once again. Can't.
You just want the sweeps for them, man.
Well, they can't be dropping the team's games. Like, they went to Game 5 with the Rogue, and then Game 4 to EG.
Well, it's just like if they keep having games like that, like, even if they still win those series, like, they're definitely going to find themselves in that third place position in the leaderboards, because it's like NRG and Cloud9 aren't dropping games like that.
I mean, beyond that, it's just Rogue, hands down, I think, is the worst team in RLCS right now.
Yeah.
I think EG is right behind them. And if you're dropping games to them, are you really the big three still?
Yeah. I think we're slowly seeing a shifting of the guard there for NA, and that makes me excited. I don't think you're going to see it this season. I think next season you're really going to start to see the challenge for the big three. I think that you're going to see NRG, G2, and Cloud9 really start to face some hardship, because that gap is closing for them. But again, you're not going to see it this season.
I don't think it's closing for NRG. If anything, I think it's getting wider.
NRG is doing better. Like, this is their season. Like, if they keep this up, like, they're going to do solid. I just want them to show up at LAN. Like, actually make sure they wake up, brush their teeth, and pull themselves into the stadium.
It hurts to be an NRG fan, because they drop the teams they shouldn't at LAN every season.
It's tough being an NA fan.
It is.
Which is why we're going to go take a look at EU now, which was just a total massacre this weekend.
Oh my god.
For anyone who missed it, EU just had upsets left and right, and we're going to discuss this one a bit more. I'm just going to run through these ones really quickly. The big ones, though, FC Barcelona dropping in a perfect, let me repeat that, a perfect 0 goals throughout the entire series game. FC Barcelona got swept 0-3 by Renault Vitality. That was crazy to watch. That's the first perfect sweep in all of EU.
Yeah, it hurt.
So, oh man, I was like, this is the Renault Vitality I've been waiting for. They're gaining power. It's great.
It's okay. It's okay. This weekend they're gonna go back to week 1 and.
We'll see. Match 2 was Dignitas versus PSG, and in a stunning defeat,
oh my god,
Dignitas gets swept 3-0 against PSG. And then in match 3, Triple Trouble versus Team Solo Mid. This one and the next one were like the only two that I was like, these make sense. At least, like, on paper, like when we were going into the day, I was like, these two make sense. Based on what we've seen, these two make sense. So, Triple Trouble and Team Solo Mid, clean 3-0 sweep in favor of Team Solo Mid. And then match 4 was Mouse Esports versus the Bricks. A clean, or not clean, that's not clean at all.
I was going to say that's not clean.
I'm just saying clean because there were so many 3-0s this weekend. But that one was actually a really close series of 2-3. I think that final game went into overtime, if I'm not mistaken.
It did.
Okay, so the Bricks narrowly pulling out that victory over Mouse Esports. And then the final match of that day was Renault Vitality versus Dignitas. 3-0 sweep, Renault Vitality. This is the Renault Vitality I have been waiting for. They showed up today. They showed up this weekend, man. It was great. Which, Dignitas, though, really upsetting to watch. Which leads me to this question for you, man, okay? Dignitas ended week 2, 0-3 at the bottom of the EU standings. Renault Vitality end week 2, 3-0 at the top of the EU standings. The difference between these two teams is Kaydop left one and he joined the other. Do you think that Kaydop's the X factor here?
No, not at all.
You don't?
Nope.
Man, I think he's the LeBron James of Rocket League.
I don't at all.
He takes success wherever the hell he goes.
I still don't like this Vitality squad. They played insanely poorly against PSG in week 1. I think
they played really badly there, but the way they played this week shows what they're capable of.
It's what they're capable of, but I mean, Lights Out has won tournaments too. That's not saying that they're a good team. Like, I mean, it's just I'm not sold until I see consistency. This Vitality squad is the team concept of EU. I'm not sold on them yet. If they do fine, if they do like they did last week against the Bricks and TSM this week, I'm sold on them. They're getting one in EU, but
all right, man, we'll see. I think Kaydop's the X factor though. He is the LeBron James of Rocket League. Like, he's just insanely good, and I think that he's helped turn this team around. So I'm looking forward to see what he does with this team. But right now, when you look at Dignitas, man, they're falling apart without him there.
Oh yeah, that PSG game hurt to watch.
Oh yeah,
I don't even like Dig, and it hurt to watch.
All right, so we're gonna move on to one final bit of news for you guys. This one we're not going to spend too much time on, so we can get to some other parts of this podcast today. But RLCS viewership is looking like it's on a downward trend from last season. This is coming from numerous people on the subreddit kind of talking about, based on the viewership from last season, it's like down 25% for week 1, and then it's down 35% for week 2. Quickly, like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I don't know what to think, really.
I'm surprised it's just now getting brought up, because, I mean, ever since Season 3, we've been on a downward trend. We've dropped 40,000 viewers at LAN for peak. Mm-hmm. We went from 206,000 in Season 3. I think that was during the NRG Northern game in Losers. Yeah. And then last season, we were at a peak of 165,000. And it's like, it's happening. I'm not sure why everyone's just now freaking out about it. We've been on the downward trend for a while now.
Well, so what do you think that means for RLCS as a whole?
I'm not too sure, because I'm not sure if these numbers have included everything, because I know there's multiple different RLCS streams. Yeah. And now they're doing YouTube as well. I'm not sure if everybody's including that in it.
You have to wonder if they are including that, because that was a new thing they're doing, is they're doing the YouTube stream as well.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. If it keeps on happening over the next 2 seasons, I'd say maybe. Yeah. But I mean, with the esports shop coming in, we're probably going to see more orgs trying to join, or bigger orgs.
See, that's kind of my thought as well, is you're going to start to get more of these fandoms coming in. Like, I see a lot of people who are just kind of doom and gloom every time I see these posts, and I'm just like, I really don't know that I'm worrying too much, because it's just the thing of, like, Rocket League's not going anywhere. It's a good esport. It really is. And Psyonix keep making, despite how slowly they are about some of the stuff and how crappy they can be about communication at times, they are taking this in the right direction. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that they're taking this game the way it needs to go. It's just that baby step mentality for them. Like, I think the partnership with E-League and Turner Sports and all that, like, I think all of that was the right move. So I'm inclined to think on the bright side of this situation, not, oh, look at these numbers, it's so bad. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I'm not.
Yeah.
So with that, we have now covered all of the news, and then we are moving on to roster shuffle. What do you got?
The only one that has any sort of merit is Soccersean and Spartan playing in scrims and tournaments with Foxtrot. I'm not even sure that they're actually going to stick together.
For people who don't know, who are these guys?
Soccersean and Spartan were on Poggers with... Oh, always forget the third's name. Lincoln. Foxtrot's been a bubble player for 4 seasons now.
Okay.
He hasn't been on any like standout team, but he's always been like mid to high tier bubble on some sort of roster. So if they can do well, I'd like to see this team succeed. But I mean, they did just drop to Adam and Ogma earlier in the 2050 tournament. So
yeah,
I'm not really sold on them yet.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that plays out, and we'll be kind of getting y'all more information as we get more back into the, like, once RLCS ends, like, we'll run back into the bubble scene news and stuff, because that's when it's funny, because it's like they're on the flip of each other. So it's when RLCS is in season, the bubble scene's kind of an off season, and then when bubble scene is in season, it's RLCS off season. They kind of are the inverse of each other. You see more teams become active in the RLCS off season, so that'll be interesting. We'll kind of keep an eye on them. So that is going to be it for the roster shuffle this week. I'm gonna add functions. So anyway, moving on to viewer mail. So going to the mailbag. First question. Oh, and guys, if y'all want to submit your own questions, head on over to the RL Esports subreddit. Every Tuesday we will post a thread we'll make a post asking for questions and topics and stuff. So everything that's being asked here is coming from there. So our first question was courtesy of SkaroRL, and his question is, how long do you think C9 will go without losing a game? Without losing a game, not a series, without losing a game, because currently they're 6-0.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, they play EG and Rogue this week. I think week 4 when they play Space Station. I don't think they're even going to win that series. So,
I think if if Crow pops off like he did this week, they can drop a game. I think C9's going to win both the series, of course, but I think like this is going to be a week where it might be a little harder for them to hold it if either of the teams actually show up and play.
If they drop a game to either Rogue or EG, there's no way they should be a top 2 team. In my opinion,
you have really high standards for these teams. I just want you to know that.
No, EG and Rogue have played so bad this season.
Yeah. Which sucks, because I love Kronovi. It sucks to see that.
I love AJ. I don't really care. Crow's been on a downward spiral since
take that back right now.
He has.
I love that man.
You can't deny it.
You cannot destroy the mountain. I don't care how much dynamite you throw at it. The mountain stays.
I don't know.
As long as it's an item in the game, it stays.
Mountain is coming bottom 2 this season. Might not stay for long.
Stop! Don't give me facts. I think that this is the weekend they're gonna lose one game. I think they're gonna drop one. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if we get. But the way they've been playing, they haven't been playing like crazy good. It's not like they've been like a wildly good team in their first 2 games we've seen so far. I mean, yeah, they've got a 100% win rate right now, but I mean, you played they played Ghost and Splice, and Splice was extremely close. They lucked out in that one.
Well, the thing is they've swept both of them, and I think Splice and Ghost are miles better than EG and Rogue.
No. Well, we'll see, man. I think it's gonna be this weekend they drop. I think they're gonna drop at least one.
I think week 4.
Well, we'll see. So, next question coming from Exacognition. This is a bit of a longer question, so we're going to try and break it down into bits for us here. First question, do you think that there is a bottleneck of talent in the RLRS due to the current promotion relegation format and or league size? Yes, 100%.
Yep, 100%.
I don't think for a second that there's not a bottleneck of talent. It's there. Yeah. And if you pay enough attention, you'll see it. It's definitely there. I think doing promotion of 1 to 2 teams is just silly. And the fact, too, that you could have no teams get promoted.
I don't have a problem with no teams getting promoted.
Well, I guess my problem is in just how they go about the promotion relegation. It's just it's this one tournament. If you don't do well in that one tournament, whoops, you don't get promoted. And I kind of think that's a bad way to go about it. Personally,
I think they need to reformat RLCS and RLRS.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't think 2 8-team leagues is enough.
Yeah.
Due to the depth that both NA and EU have.
Yeah, and it's getting deeper and deeper too. That's the thing is it's getting more and more wild. That's why play-ins are such a bloodbath. Is because there are so many good teams. You and me, when we were looking at the top 20 seeds, we're sitting there saying there's some teams that are here that are really lowly seeded that I could just as easily see them taking this.
Yep, Endeavor.
Yeah, so it's Endeavor not even top 20.
I know.
So it's it just goes to show. The next part of the question is, do you think this suggests that the top RLRS teams are actually better than the bottom RLCS teams, and that if more than 2 teams were allowed to promote per season, would teams like Ghost survive? I think to an extent, okay, I gotta back up more. His post is kind of long, so I'm gonna reread this part for y'all. In the last 2 seasons, RLCS teams have had a 12.5% survival rate in the promotion relegation tournament. The only team to have survived was Fnatic, who went on to have another poor season and got relegated the next. 2/3 of the RLRS teams promoted since then have remained in RLCS. It's too early to say definitively, but it's likely that at least Bread and Barca will also retain their spot this season. Do you think this suggests that the top RLRS teams are actually better than the bottom RLCS teams, and that if more than 2 teams were allowed to promote per season, would teams like Ghost survive? See, that's a little tougher of a question because I think the top RLRS teams can be good. Until I see the rest of this RLRS season, I don't know what I'd say. I do think that they could beat Rogue and EG.
I think whatever 2 teams come out of RLRS make it into RLCS.
You think so?
And I hate that. I hate that because I'm not impressed with that many teams at that level.
Yeah.
There's Peeps, and I had them retaining their spot, and they got swept by Affinity.
Yeah.
And it's if Peeps somehow manage top 2 and then end up qualifying, you're dropping to a team that made it to the 3rd round of play-ins.
Yeah. For North America, I think it's going to be a bit more difficult to say because, the standings right now, no one has 2 wins. At the end of the first week, no one got 2 wins. Yeah. No one won 2 games. The only team that has the chance to go 2-0 at the end of this week is RBG. Oh. And quite frankly, I don't think they're going to do it. I would like to see it, but I don't think you're not going to see any teams go undefeated there. EU, it's a little easier to look at. You can see Complexity and Veloci, 2 O's. Yep. They're both doing really well there. I don't know. I think that the bottom 2 RLCS teams will fall out. I'm inclined to agree with you on that. I think that they will fall out, and I don't think we're going to see them stick around.
I wouldn't expect them to.
Next question from this. Okay, so we see. So if you see the talent bottleneck, how would you propose to resolve it? I'll let you go, and then I'll give my suggestion.
I'd say either increase the team limit for each league,
Okay.
rather than just capping it at 8, or introduce a new third league.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I think a third's the right way to go, because then you're just adding like so many steps to it. I do think that the problem with RLCS and RLRS currently, though, is they're way too volatile. Like, I think that if you're an org and you're looking at the scene, you're probably like, oh man, that looks really great over there, but I don't know if I want to stick around because I don't know if I want to jump in because who knows if my team's going to last beyond 2 seasons. And that's part of why, like, I was asking you and a couple other people, like, about the other games and stuff, like how they do their stuff, is because my thing is I think the baseline, they need to stabilize RLCS and RLRS. The way I think that they do that, it's tough because then you start looking at, like, okay, stabilizing it means franchising most likely. I don't think they should do that, though. I think it's just going to be really tough to stabilize it, to be honest. I don't think you're going to have a really easy way of doing that because after talking to you and a lot of other people, Rocket League is like the only professional esport that I've seen, so that I can look at so far, that's like among the big ones that a lot of people just know of, where there is a very straight course, they're very straight path on how you get to be a pro in it. In other games, it's, like, do well, like, get noticed. This, it's, you go, you do well in Playins. You qualify through Playins, you get into RLRS. You then do really well in RLRS, and you qualify to get into RLCS. Boom, you're a pro.
Yep.
Most straightforward path you can possibly find. I have not seen another esport that does it after all the conversations I've had this week about it. So I do like that about Rocket League, and I kind of want to keep that. But again, I think they need to stabilize it.
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, you have to just make it through plans to get to RLRS.
It's a lot easier said than done. I will give that to you.
Yeah. It's still in Rocket League. It is a lot about being noticed. I mean, like, the easiest way to do that, like Joe Freshness, is just for 6-mans.
Yeah. So. And there's you can, like, that's what I like about Rocket League is you have multiple avenues of becoming a pro in it. You can go get noticed, you can really work hard with this team, like you have options to you, which I really like that, and I want to keep and preserve that as best as possible. So my suggestion would be
franchising.
No, forget franchising. I don't think that's the answer for Rocket League. But I think that you expand RLCS to 10 teams, and I think you expand RLRS to 12 teams. And then you have promotion relegation of either the top and bottom 3 or top bottom 4 between the two. And then instead of killing off half of the RLRS teams at the end of each season, it's just the bottom 4. Numbers 9 through 12 all get dropped.
I think I'd still prefer half, if I'm being honest.
Really? I mean, because I think that's the problem, is I think that it's because they kill off half of the teams at the end of every RLRS season. I think that's part of why orgs are hesitant to jump in the scene, because your team can easily get nixed by one game. One game can cause your team to get nixed, as we saw, like, I think it was like in the seasons past, it was like Splice didn't care, and so they didn't try in a game, and it caused, I think it was the dudes, maybe? I don't know who it was.
Yep.
Yeah, the dudes got dropped out of RLRs because Splice didn't care about one game. Literally, that's all it was. They had to win like one game for their series, and the dudes would have been good. But because this other team didn't care, they got dropped. And I think that sends a bad message to orgs that are considering getting in the scene, is that you can be kicked off that easily. And I'm not saying that you're totally removing that possibility by adding 12 teams and only removing a quarter of them or a third of them, but you help limit it to an extent. You know?
I think that Splice one isn't a great example because, I mean, they were playing with Scarabs. So they did throw that match without a doubt.
No, but that's exactly it, though, is because the other team because they didn't care, the dudes got screwed. And that's what I'm saying, is like, if one team just doesn't care, your team can get screwed out of being in the RLRS anymore. And if the dudes had a sponsor or they had like an org that they were affiliated with, guess what? That org's, because this one team didn't care, they no longer have their org, because orgs don't stick around when you leave RLRS. Like, they just don't. Because why would they? Splice is the only exception to this rule. And the reason that they keep Karma is because she's the highest level female Rocket League player. And like that's a, I mean, I'm not saying that like that's totally a bad reason, but it's like she's got clout to her at least. The dudes, none of them have the same kind of clout that Karma has.
The dudes would have split up anyway. No matter what, that team was not making it through to the next RLRS season. Even if they did retain their top 4 spot, they weren't sticking together.
Okay. It's just one of those things that I think
it's
it needs
like
to be
that
stabilized.
for a lot of RLRS teams, is that they don't bother sticking together. They just decide to.
Well, and that's the biggest problem too. Is the expiration date for the teams at this level is so bad.
The issue there is because most of these teams are with like 16 and 17-year-olds, and they don't know what they should actually be doing in these situations, so they act on emotion.
Yeah.
Make compulsive decisions. But
I don't know. You and me will definitely discuss this one more. I would love to have like a more at-length discussion on it than we're allowed here. And then our final question, we're going to try and blaze this one really quick. Sorry about that, Perino. But coming from MdPerino, his question, do you see any potential issue with third-party software such as Bacchusmod and Alpha Console allowing users to wear org items for free? Psyonix has traditionally been very open to third-party applications, but I could see orgs getting upset that they're losing potential revenue. In CSGO, for example, players can get banned for using skin changer software. What are your thoughts? Do you think Psyonix is ever going to care about Bacchusmod and Alpha? Huh?
Well, actually, I don't think Psyonix is ever going to care, but
I don't think so either.
I think we'll get to the point where it's the same with org items, where orgs have been asking for it for 3 or 4 seasons, and Psyonix finally decide to actually do something.
Well, I think that Psyonix is going to continue to not care. And the reason I think that is because the difference between Rocket League and CSGO is Rocket League is everywhere. You have all these people on PS4, you have all these people on Xbox One, you have all these people on Switch. You know they're going to make another Rocket League version for whatever comes out next. Like, Psyonix has so many other avenues to keep picking up money that it's like, PC gaming is only a small slice of that pie that I don't think that, and then even then, not everyone on PC uses Bacchusmod or Alpha Console, so I don't think you're gonna have, I don't think they're seeing a significant enough reason to nix it, or to ever, I don't think they'll ever see a significant reason to nix it.
I think they aren't gonna nix it per se, but I do see them having issues in addressing Alpha Console or Bacchusmod.
See, but Alpha Console I could see because people technically pay to use some of the features with Alpha Console. I don't think they do anything like that with Bacchusmod. But like Alpha Console I know makes money off of this, and I could see that possibly being an issue in the future, but I don't know.
I think Alpha Console is too big for them to get rid of, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's hands down the biggest Rocket League service there is.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
I don't think that, if I'm being honest, I don't think you'll ever see Bacchusmod and Alpha Console ever be removed per Psyonix. Like, I just don't see it happening because Rocket League is in so many places that, I mean, eventually I could see it being on your freaking phone. Because the way technology's moving, I could see it ending up on your phone.
Please, no.
We're gonna get mobile Rocket League, man. We are gonna have mobile Rocket League, and you're gonna not be able to buy keys in Belgium or the Netherlands. So you know it is what it is, guys. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. This has been Around the Scene with me and Eldino. Once again, please consider following us here on Twitch and all that jazz. We'll be uploading this episode to YouTube and SoundCloud for anyone who missed the live recording for this episode, and we'll be doing that for every episode moving forward. We'll be back on Monday with the Launchpad, which is our weekly 3v3 tournament for those of you who are new with us. And last but not least, Eldino, do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right, I'm Ryan. That's Eldino. This has been Around the Scene, and it has been our pleasure to have you with us. Take care and have a great rest of your evening.